Integral of z plus 1 divided by z minus 4z square.
1 second, I'll check out. This one, second one, I think I wrote the same example too. Oh, I written the same. Let us, others, have you solved it? If you solved, we'll skip or else we'll continue with the example. I didn't know that I had given it as homework, so I had written that only. Shall I solve it or you have solved? Students. Have you solved it?
Yes, ma'am.
No, you told you didn't get others. Nobody has tried, I think. Let me solve then. So example is integrate z plus 1 divided by z square into 1 minus 4z square. Circle given is mod z equal to 1. So apply Cauchy residue theorem. Let us first find the poles. The poles are will equate the denominator to 0. So what will you get? Z square equal to 0. 1 minus 4z square equal to 0. That implies 1 minus 1 equal to 2z square. I'll write around 4z square. 1 equal to 4z square, or we have z square is 1 by 4, z equal to plus or minus 2. 1 by 2 plus or minus 1 by 2. So we have poles. What's the order of the pole? 0?
2, ma'am.
2. It is as good as z square into 1 minus 4z square. You can put it as z minus 0 whole square into z minus 1 by 2 into z plus 1 by 2. Like because these are the poles we have got. If you simplify this, if you take 4 common outside, you'll get that z minus 1 by 2, z plus 1 by 2. Right? Now, what is the order of the poles of which are 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2?
1, ma'am.
1. They are the poles of order 1. Okay. Now, let us go for finding the residues, or we'll write one sentence. A equal to 0 is a pole of order 2. 1 by 2, it is a pole of order of order 1, and minus 1 by 2 is a pole of order 1 again. Okay. Now let us find the residues. Okay, which lie inside and which lie outside here? We didn't check it. What's the circle? Circle is mod z equal to 1. Which points will lie inside and which lie outside?
Madam, all the points lie inside.
Yes. Given circle is mod z equal to 1. So this implies all the poles lie inside the circle, because circle is with radius 1. We have a circle of radius 1, whereas the poles are, one is at half, another is at minus half, and another one is 0. So we can see that the poles, all the poles will lie inside the circle whose radius is 1. Now that means we have to calculate the residues at each of the poles. Residue, I'll write the formula first. It is 1 upon m minus 1 factorial into limit as z tends to a of m minus 1th order derivative m minus 1th order derivative of z minus a raised to m into f of z. So let us go for each of those. Pole 0 of order 2. So m is 2 here. 1 upon 2 minus 1 factorial. Limit as z tends to 0. And if you put m as 2, 2 minus 1, it is 1. So that means you have to find the first order derivative of z minus a raised to m. So z minus a means here it is z minus 0. So z minus 0, it is z square. Z minus a raised to m. So z minus 0 raised to 2, function f of z. So the function f of z we have taken, it is what's the function? Z plus 1 divided by z square into 4z square, 1 minus 4z square. One minus 4z square. So what happens? Z square cancels. Z square cancels. So what's the residue? Limit as z tends to 0. What's the derivative of this function? 1 minus 4z square as it is. Derivative of numerator minus numerator will keep as it is. Derivative of the denominator. Derivative of 1 is 0. Minus 4 constant. Derivative of z square is 2z. Whole divided by 1 minus 4z square whole square. It is in the form of u by v. So we have to go for differentiating by u by v form. Denominator we have kept as it is, 1 minus 4z square. Derivative of z plus 1, it is 1. Then minus derivative of, numerator we have kept as it is, then z plus 1. Differentiation of the denominator term, that is only 1 minus 4z square we have in the denominator. Its derivative is minus 4 constant, derivative of z square is 2z. Whole divided by square of the denominator. Put z equal to 0 now everywhere. Put z equal to 0 because you need to find limit as z tends to 0. It is 1 minus z is 0. So here z is 0 means second term totally becomes 0. Divided by, again here z is 0 means you will get 1 square. So you will get the residue value as 1. Now go for the second one. Residue at 1 by 2, which is of order 1. 1 upon 0 factorial, m minus 1. This is our m and this is our a. Limit as z tends to 1 by 2, 0th order derivative. So we will not take any derivative because m is 1, 1 minus 1, it becomes 0 here. Z minus a raised to m, z minus 1 by 2 into function. The function I have written here, I'll take it, z plus 1 divided by z square into 1 minus 4z square. So if you put in this way, the function 1 minus 4z square, it won't get cancelled. It won't get cancelled. See that this term has to be cancelled. Otherwise, it takes indeterminate form. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is 0. Here also you'll get 0. So 0 by 0 form it will take. So see that you have to write it in the form of factors here. What will you write it as? What will you write it as? How to simplify it? To write it in the form of 1 minus, z minus 1 by 2. Where shall I write? It is 1 minus 4z square, right? So I'll write it as minus of 4z square minus 1. Or you can write it as minus of minus 4 if I take outside z square minus 1 by 4. So minus 4 is outside. Z square minus 1 by 4 can be written as Z minus 1 by 2 into Z plus 1 by 2. Now you can write these factors in the denominator. So what we have, we'll write it as minus 4 into Z minus 1 by 2 into Z plus 1 by 2. This term, Z square, I forgot, Z square into this 1 minus 4Z square, we have simplified it in this form. It is minus 4 into Z minus 1 by 2 into Z plus 1 by 2. Now see that we'll take the limits after cancelling the term. This Z minus 1 by 2 cancels. Put Z as 1 by 2. 1 by 2 plus 1. 1 by 2 whole square into minus 4 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Here we have put 1 by 2, it is 1 by 2 plus 1. Z square, it is 1 by 2 whole square. Then minus 4 as it is. Here we are remained with Z plus 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. What's the value? Anybody simplified? It is 1 by 4. This 4, it gets cancelled. 3 by 2, minus sign we have. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 1. Is it right? Minus 3 by 2. Anybody has got the answer? One more we need to calculate. Is it correct, this answer? I hope you done correctly. The other one at minus 1 by 2. Same formula, only will be changing your A. 1 upon 0 factorial. Limit at Z tends to minus 1 by 2 here. Now Z minus of 1 minus 1 by 2. It is Z minus A in this term. So minus of minus 1 by 2 means you'll get the Z plus 1 by 2. Z minus A term, it becomes Z plus 1 by 2. Right? Then the function Z plus 1 divided by Z square into 1 minus 4 Z square, or else you can write the term directly. Already you have simplified it. Z tends to minus 1 by 2. Z plus 1 by 2. Z plus 1 divided by Z square into, what are the factors? Minus 4 into Z minus 1 by 2 into Z plus 1 by 2. This one factorized term, I just kept my minus sign outside. Simplified. Z plus 1 by 2 needs to be cancelled. Then put Z as minus 1 by 2. This term will get cancelled. Minus 1 by 2 plus 1 minus 1 by 2 whole square. Minus 1 by 2. However, it will be plus minus 1 by 2 whole square into 4 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2, it is half. Minus 1 by 2 whole square means it is 1 by 4. This cancels. Minus, it is 1. What's your value? It's minus 1 by 2. So we have calculated all the residues. Integral C, the function Z plus 1, Z square into 1 minus 4 Z square dz. Now can be written as 2 pi I into summation of all the residues. 2 pi I, what are the residues? What's the first residue value? Is 1 there. First one is 1. Second one is minus 3 by 2. 1 minus 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2. How much you get? Minus 4 by 2. Is it minus 2? That is an answer of 0 there. Did we do any mistake somewhere? Is there any mistake? We got minus 2 pi I.
Also got same answer.
Okay, then I might have written the answer wrongly. Others, anybody, if you have tried?
Correct, ma'am.
No, it's correct. Okay, I'll change the answer only. I think I have written it wrong. Anyhow, verify it once again. Okay, let us move on to next example. Evaluate integral C sin pi z square plus cos pi z square divided by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 2 dz, where C is mod z equal to 3. This example has been asked many times in the question paper, VTU question paper. The poles first, z minus 1 whole square into z minus 2 equal to 0 equate the denominator term to 0. So z minus 1 equal to 0, z minus 2 equal to 0. Whole square I have left because even though it is square, after taking square root, you will get it as z minus 1. So z equal to 1 and z equal to 2. But this one, when you take, the term is having a power here. So we'll say that a equal to 1 is a pole of order 2. Because we have z minus 1 whole square, we say that order of that 1 is 2 and the other pole 2, its order is 1. Because the power of this term z minus 2 is just 1 there. So we have got 2 poles, 1 and 2, and the circle now. Given curve is the circle, given curve is the circle mod z equal to 1. So this implies, sorry, mod z equal to 3. Now what you can say about the points?
Center at
Both the poles, yes. Will they lie inside or outside?
inside.
Yes. Both the poles lie inside C. Inside C. Okay. Now go for the residues. Residue. Write the formula once so that you will get it practiced also and you remember it correctly. Every time in the example, you need to write the formula. Limit as z tends to a, m minus 1th order derivative of z minus a raised to m into f of z. Substitute your m and a. For the first one, a equal to 1, m equal to 2. The residue of order 2 at 1. 1 divided by 2 minus 1 factorial. Limit as z tends to a means it is 1. M minus 1, m is 2. 2 minus 1 means you'll get the first order derivative of z minus a, z minus 1 whole square, function f of z. The function is sin pi z square plus cos pi z square divided by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 2. So z minus 1 whole square term, it gets cancelled. 1 upon 1 factorial, that will just give us 1. Now we need to differentiate the function now. How will you differentiate this function? I'll just write it once again. Derivative of, it is sin pi z square plus cos pi z square divided by z minus 2. Differentiate this function. You have to go for u by v. You have to go for u by v. Limit as z tends to 1. Denominator will keep as it is. Differentiate the numerator term. So derivative of sin pi z square. What will you write? What's the derivative of sin pi z square?
Cos pi z square.
Yes. What happens?
2z sin pi z square cos pi z square.
Cos pi z square into
2z.
Pi also. Sin pi z square
Yes, ma'am, pi
derivative is,
too.
right? Derivative of sin x. Derivative of sin x is cos x. So we'll write cos pi z square. But this term pi z square again needs to be differentiated. Derivative of pi z square, it is, shall I write here only? It is 2 pi z. Pi is constant. Derivative of z square is 2z plus derivative of now cos pi z square. Derivative of cos pi z square. So what you get? Again,
Pi z minus sin pi z.
yes, minus sin pi z square. Derivative of cos x, it is minus sin x. So we'll have minus sin pi z square into the derivative of again pi z square. Pi constant, derivative of z square is 2z whole divided by, oh, I didn't write the one more term. We did do only one now. So swipe it. Then minus, you have to keep numerator term as it is, sin pi z square plus cos pi z square, derivative of denominator, derivative of z minus 2, it is just 1. This whole term is divided by z minus 2 whole square. See that will write the term correctly. Is the font correctly visible or shall I increase it, decrease it? Never you have told anything. Is it visible clearly in your, those who are using mobiles? If it is laptop, I don't think you'll have any problem. Is it visible clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So limit, instead of simplifying, you can directly put the limit. Why? To simplify. Anyhow, we are putting z equal to 1 here. So directly put z equal to 1. 1 minus 2, it is minus 1. Then cos pi, you're putting z as 1, so it becomes cos pi. I'll later write it only. Cos pi, again 2 pi into 1, you'll get 2 pi, plus into minus, you have minus, what will you get there? Sin pi into 2 pi. Anyhow, this is minus 1, z minus 2 is multiplied only to this term. Z minus 2 means you'll get minus 1, which is multiplied only to these terms. I think I have to complete one bracket here. Then minus the denominator is kept as it is here. Now, if you put z as 1, again you get sin pi plus cos pi divided by 1 minus 2, that is minus 1 whole square. Sin pi value?
0, ma'am.
0. So this term, sin pi term becomes 0. What remains? Minus 1 into cos pi, it is minus 1 into 2 pi. We'll complete the bracket here. Minus, we have cos pi value, which is minus 1. Sin pi is 0. Divided by 1. That means, see how much you get. Minus into minus, it is plus 2 pi plus 1 divided by 1. Is it 2 pi plus 1? What's the other residue? 2 of order 1. This is a residue at which pole? 1 of order 2. Now we'll go for residue at 2, which is of order, yes?
And that outside minus one is it multiplied to hold the bracket now?
I don't think so. See, this z minus 2 is there. When you put z as 1, 1 minus 2, it is minus 1. Now this term, like we have kept the numerator as it is, differentiated the denominator as it is, differentiated the numerator term here. Only this term is multiplied with this. So I have put this bracket, square bracket there. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am, correct.
Okay. Now go for the other pole. 1 upon m minus 1 factorial, m and a. Limit as z tends to a. Which order derivative now? M minus 1 means it is 0. So 0th order derivative, we did not write it. F of z minus a whole square whole raised to m will be there. Z minus 2 raised to 1 into the function f of z. Compare it with the formula. Better it is if you write the formula every time. Sin pi z square plus cos pi z square divided by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 2. Okay. Formula is 1 upon m minus 1 factorial. Our m is 1, 1 minus 1 factorial. Limit as z tends to a is 2. Then we'll be having m minus 1th order derivative, but m is 1, so 0th order derivative is there, we'll not write it, into z minus a raised to m. A is 2 again, z minus 2 raised to 1 it is. So we have z minus a raised to m into the function. Now this is the given function. This term needs to be cancelled. It has to be cancelled, otherwise somewhere you have gone wrong there. Now we'll have 1 upon 0 factorial, which is 1. Limit as z tends to 2, you can put the value or else directly. It is no differentiation here. sin pi z square plus cos pi z square divided by z minus 1 whole square. Put z equal to 2. Sin 4 pi it is. Z is 2. 2 square becomes 4. So sin 4 pi. Cos again 4 pi divided by z minus 2. 2 minus 1 whole square. Sin 4 pi value. Value of sin 4 pi.
0, ma'am.
0. Cos 4 pi.
0.
Cos 4 pi.
Yes,
1 ma'am.
1 ma'am.
1 or minus 1?
1 ma'am.
1 ma'am.
1. 1. Because 0, pi means it is minus 1. 2 pi comes here. Again 3 pi. And when you come back, 4 pi is on your x-axis, which is nothing but 0. So cos 4 pi, it becomes 1 divided by 1. We got the value as 1. Now write the answer as sum of both the residues multiplied by 2 pi I. What's the residue here in the other one? 2 pi plus 1. Integral C sin pi z square plus cos pi z square divided by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 2. So what we get it as, I'll write it as 2 pi I into summation of the residues. 2 pi I, what is it? Is it 2 pi plus 1? So 2 pi I, it is 2 pi plus 2. If at all you take 2 outside, 2 into 2 it becomes 4 pi I into pi plus 1. So that is your answer.
Ma'am, in the last example, can you move the slide, ma'am?
Previous example.
Last example, ma'am.
First example you are talking about, this one.
Ma'am, in the first step, it is minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, it is minus 1, ma'am. Minus of minus is plus 1, ma'am. It is plus 1 by 2.
No. Minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2. Sum is 1, but you'll get the sign as minus only, no?
Yes, ma'am. Minus 1. Outside is minus, ma'am. Minus into minus plus.
Oh, yes. This becomes plus. You're telling numerator. What's the numerator? 1 minus 1 by 2. Okay. This is plus, right? So that means this becomes
Plus.
plus
Answer
1
is
by
0.
Good. Okay. Okay. Plus 1 by 2. So then it becomes minus 3 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Minus 3 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is minus 1, right? Minus 2 by 2. So it becomes 0. Good. Thank you. The slight mistake will vary your answer a lot. See that you'll do it correctly. It is. I thought I'll start next module. We'll do one more example, and I think we'll sense your module, second module. Sin raised to 6z divided by z minus pi by 6 whole cube dz, where c is mod z equal to 1. This example is also important. only one pole you have. Z minus 5 by 6 actually whole cube, but we'll take it as only Z minus 5 by 6 equal to 0. This implies Z equal to 5 by 6. This is a pole of order. What's the order?
3.
3. Then mod Z equal to 1 is the circle. Will it lie outside or inside?
Inside.
Inside. How will you say? How will you say that it lies inside? How much is pi by 6?
It lies inside because A equal to pi by 6
0.52 ma'am.
3.14 divided by 6.
Yes, quite small value. 3.146 divided by 6 nearly equal to 0.5 is somewhere nearer to 0.5 I think, so which is less than 1. So the point A equal to pi by 6, it lies inside the circle. Radius of the circle is 1, whereas your value of the point is 0.5 something. So we have pole lying inside. What is only one residue you have to calculate? Residue 1 upon m minus 1 factorial limit z tends to a z minus 1th order derivative. M I have to write here. M minus 1th order derivative of z minus a raised to m into f of z. Okay. So what will you get? 1 divided by what is the residue now? The residue is at pi by 6 and order is 3. So m is 3, a is pi by 6. 3 minus 1, that is 2 factorial. Limit at z tends to a is pi by 6. M minus 1, m is 3. 3 minus 1 means it is second order derivative of the function z minus pi by 6 whole cube into the function. What's your function? Sine raised to 6z divided by z minus pi by 6 whole cube. So this term gets cancelled. Now see that what the derivative will be. Limit as z tends to pi by 6. This is limit as z tends to pi by 6. Let us differentiate it once and keep one d by dz outside. Derivative of sine raised to 6z. We want a derivative of sine raised to 6z. It is in the form of x raised to n. Derivative of x raised to n, it is
6.
X raised to n minus 1. So going with this, we have 6 into sine raised to n minus 1. Yes, 5z into, it is not just z there, it's a function of z. So again, sine z needs to be differentiated. Derivative of sine z is minus cos z. Okay, so this is the first order derivative. This denominator has been cancelled. We are just differentiating sine raised to 6z, which is in the form of x raised to n. So derivative of x raised to n into x raised to n minus 1. But it is not just x or z here. It is a function of z. Again, we will differentiate sine z. Or minus won't come. What is the derivative of sine? It's only cos, no? Derivative of sine z is, yes, cos. So 1 upon 2 factorial limit as z tends to pi by 6. Now we need to differentiate this term once again. Let me keep 6 outside. Let me keep 6 outside. We'll differentiate only this function. So you have to go for u into v here. Sine raised to 5z into cos z needs to be differentiated by taking u into v. sine raised to phi z will keep as it is. Derivative of cos z, it is minus sine z plus cos z will keep as it is. Derivative of sine raised to phi z. What's the derivative of sine raised to phi z? Phi into sine raised to 4z into the derivative of sine z. It is cos z. We are going for u into v product rule. Sine raised to phi z, first will keep u as it is and differentiate v. So keep the sine raised to phi z as it is. Derivative of cos z, it is minus sine z. Then we'll keep this cos z as it is. Differentiate sine raised to phi z. It is in the form of again x raised to n. So 5 into we have sine raised to 4z. And again this sine z needs to be differentiated. Derivative of sine z, again you'll get cos z. Don't go for any simplification, just put z as pi by 6. How much you get here? 2 factorial is 2. That means you get 3 here. Minus, it is sine z into sine z. Sine raised to 6, pi by 6. Plus cos into cos. So we have cos square, pi by 6. Sine raised to 4, pi by 6. Tell me the values. What is sine pi by 6?
1 by 2, ma'am.
1 by 2. So that means you get 1 by 2 raised to 6. And again you have here sine pi by 6, which is 1 by 2 raised to 4. Then cos pi by 6 value. Is it root 3 by 2? Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Simplify it. See what the answer is. Two raised to 6 means it is 64. Is it right? Three by 32 it is. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the integral value. Usually what happens is you'll calculate this residues and leave it off. You'll forget the last part only, writing the value of the integral. Sine raised to 6z divided by z minus pi by 6 raised to 3 dz. Value of this integral by Cauchy's integral theorem, it is 2 pi I into summation r. But however, here we have only one residue. So 2 pi I into 3 by 32. How much it is? 3 pi I divided by 16. Is it right? Well, I think this completes your module, second module. In the next class, we'll go to fourth module where we'll be studying statistics. So third module I'm skipping where we have probability. So probability, And last module is also on probability, sampling theory. So I think we'll go to statistics first. That is third module. Later we'll move back to probability. Okay. Or else I'll just think of it one time. We need to think of your IA also. Statistics, in last IA, it becomes then totally probability. I'll just think of it, whether to start third or fourth. Anyhow, we'll begin the next module in the next class. I think we are most out of time. Okay, we'll wind up.